Welcome, everyone. I had 20 people here just a moment ago, so maybe a couple more will be joining us shortly. I'm just waiting for you all to appear, and then we'll go around and introduce ourselves. Can everyone hear me okay? I think I'm going to get a special microphone just to make it easier, but right now I'm alone in the house, aside from perhaps a dog that's going to make noise. Yesterday, she started snoring right about this time. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. So what I'd like everyone to do first is to introduce themselves and perhaps mention your pronouns. I keep overlooking that, even though I've done it in writing. I keep forgetting about doing it during the class sessions. And so we'll go around and say maybe one thing about us, like something that we're proud of. And could you please mention which article you selected, especially if you changed your article, because later I'm going to break everyone into groups. And in the last class, it was just easier to have it all in my hand rather than look through all the Zoom pages and everything else. So welcome to College Writing 1. I'm Tandy Tillinghast, and I'm your teacher. You should just call me Tandy. Tandy is plenty. A couple things about me. I've been teaching for more than 20 years, and I've been teaching at Western for about the past 7, and college for about 10 years. Prior to that, I taught high school, but college is definitely my spot. And in addition to teaching at Western face-to-face and full-time, I also teach usually about a graduate creative writing course online every term, just to kind of keep myself in the creative writing loop. I feel like good writing, all writing can be good writing, so it's nice to have some variety in my life. So I know what appears on your screen looks different than what appears on my screen. So to my left, I have Haley. Haley, would you get us started?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name's Haley Reeves. I picked Remember Reading, Remember Writing. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I like photography.
Excellent. I'm going to give Haley a thumbs up. And then after mentioning it, did I forget to say she, her, hers? Those are my pronouns, if I forgot them. Okay. Thank you, Haley. So you read Remembering Writing, Remembering Reading, and do you have any course of interest or anything you're interested in so far? No pressure.
Oh, like what I'm doing now? I'm taking a psychology course, and I've been really interested in that. I think I'm going to major in psychology.
Awesome. That's exactly what I was hoping. But not everyone will have decided anything yet. Just tell me if you have any curiosities. Okay, so currently to my right is Tolo. Would you introduce yourself? Can you say your whole name for me?
Yeah, my name's Tolo. My full first name is Takapao Tolo. Tolo's good.
Okay.
My pronouns are, sorry?
I tried to say it. Did I get close?
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna. Okay.
My pronouns are he, him, his, and I enjoy working out or walking, just walking, not running. That's about it.
Okay, excellent. And are you in Monmouth currently?
Yeah.
Okay, super. And what's your article, Tolo? Maybe you said it.
Oh, that's right. I was pretty late, so I'm partway through Rigid Rules.
Okay, perfect. So do I need to invite you to that group?
Sure.
Okay, great. And so
Thank you.
Tolo, on my screen is Naomi or Naomi.
It's Naomi. You were right. I'm Naomi. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I chose the article Remembering Reading, Remembering Writing, and I'm majoring in elementary education.
Good choice. And I think I forgot to give a thumbs up. Ooh, that's not what I want to do. I think I forgot to give a thumbs up to Tolo and another one for Naomi. Great. Okay. Next on my screen I have Josie. I realize it looks different on yours.
Hello, hi. My name is Josie and my pronouns are she, her, hers. I read Remembering Writing, Remembering Reading. Interesting thing, I work at a daycare. It's pretty cool. Good time.
Really good. Okay. And next I have Madison.
Hi, my name's Madison, and I also chose Remembering Reading, Remembering Writing. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I really love animals.
Do you have any animals there with you at home?
Yeah, I have a dog. His name is Rudy, and he's basically my best friend.
That's awesome. This is a good time to have pets around, and those of us who are away from our animals are gonna appreciate you for your pet. So that's great. Okay, and next I have Annabelle.
Is it working?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. I'm Annabelle. The article that I read was Remembering Reading and Remembering Writing. I'm majoring in art and design, and I really like painting and watercolors, but I have gotten a bit into some creative like writing stuff. So yeah, I've like made some short stories and stuff, and do that.
That's really great. So as an undergrad, I also have a bachelor's in studio art. So that I do miss some of that, especially watercolor. That's one you can kind of pick up again and again. So that's awesome. I also see on my screen Christian. I'm going to give Annabelle a thumbs up, Madison and Annabelle a thumbs up. Maybe I missed Josie. I don't know, just lots of thumbs. Okay.
Hi, my name is Christian. My pronouns are he, him, his. I read Nawi Street. And is there anything else that I'm missing?
No, that's it exactly. Oh, is there anything else you want to tell us about yourself, your interests, or where you're from?
Oh, I'm majoring in ASL interpreting, so I hope to do that when I graduate.
Awesome, that's really wonderful. So for anyone who is interested in that field or that department, I'm hoping that Zoom is automatically closed captioning our videos. And I'm going to try to just check and see what that looks like. And if I don't notice it working particularly well, then I'm going to import the videos into YouTube and see if I can clean up the transcript. But that's a goal. So if anyone sees that for some reason that doesn't seem to be showing or it's not working right, just give me a heads up. Okay, and then after Christian, I see May.
Hi, my name's May. My pronouns are her, she, her, hers. I'm a criminal justice major. The article I chose was Navi Straight, and I really like sketching.
Ooh, great. Do you think you might use sketching in criminal justice? Are you interested in forensics or something like that, or just?
Yeah, my minor is actually forensic anthropology, but I will not be using any of my lacking art skills for that. So.
Don't say that. Your art listens to you, right? Just keep keep improving them and keep nurturing them. That's great that you enjoy sketching just for pleasure. That's awesome. Okay, and next to May, I see Geneva.
Hi. It's actually pronounced Geneva, but it's okay. Everyone gets it wrong. I'm Geneva. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I also arrived a little late, so I'm gonna be reading the Rigid Rules article, and I really like storytelling and drawing, so I make some like mini comics sometimes, and interesting, I guess.
That's really terrific. Okay, so pretty soon after the introductions, the first thing I'll check is just on, actually, I'll probably get you guys started.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Is it me or is it you?
You know, actually, it may be me. I hear a little noise. Is everybody else hear feedback or something?
I can hear you.
Okay, all right. One of the things I was saying is that I will try to make sure that the people who didn't get added to the reading activity got added just for your own sake later as we transition to navigating through Canvas. So Geneva, thank you for your patience. Did I get it right? Okay, nice to meet you. And then next we have Samila.
Hi, my name is Samila, but you can call me Sam. It's much easier. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm reading, or I've read Rigid Rules.
Okay.
And my major, I guess, is business.
No pressure. Right, that's awesome. Okay,
all right.
Nice to meet you, Samila or Sam. Sam is preferred, right? Okay. Is it Mariam?
Hi, my name is Mariam, but you can call me Marlo. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I am a chemistry forensics major, and I am reading Now We Street.
Okay, Marlo, tell me your name again one more time, though, the whole name.
Marian.
Marian. Okay, but you prefer Marlo. And you spell that M-A-R-L-O? Awesome. An awesome reading choice. Good deal. Okay, next I have Kirk, I think. Hi, Kirk.
My name's Kirk. I'm reading Rigid Rules. My pronouns are he, him, his, and I don't know. I'm a barista. I like coffee.
Oh, that's awesome. I really had a cup before my class today, and the traffic was not being my friend. I did not get one. So if I seem like I'm about to nod off at the end up here, it's not about you. It's not about you. Okay. All right.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I also see Katie on here.
Hi, I'm Katie. I read Rigid Rules. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I guess an interesting thing would be I was cheer captain in my high school, and I'm majoring in criminal justice.
But you are not cheering here at Western.
No, unfortunately not.
That's a bummer. Some people don't consider cheer a sport, given the number of injuries. That's awesome. Really great to meet you. Okay, I also see Rowan on here.
Hi, I'm Rowan. Pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm an economics major, and I read Rigid Rules. And a fun fact is I like to roller skate and play roller derby. And today is actually October 1st, which is National Roller Skating Day. So
I did not know that.
yeah, it's a holiday. Mm-hmm.
No, wonderful. That's really terrific. Awesome. I love learning new things. Okay. Everyone just moved again. I see Emily.
Hi, my name is Emily. I go by she, her, hers, and I'm doing an undecided major, and I read Remembering Writing, Remembering Reading.
Awesome. Yeah, there is no pressure. Take your time, explore everything before you make any decisions. There's plenty of time. Awesome. Okay, and then I also see Lexi on here.
Hi, I'm Lexi, and I go by she, her, hers. I read or am reading Rigid Rules, and I'm majoring or planning on majoring in earth science right now.
Awesome. Super cool. I think I might have forgotten a thumbs up for maybe Emily, just in case. I'll give Rowan one, and welcome to the class, Lexi. I think it's Kaya, perhaps? If not,
Yeah.
tell me.
Hi, my name is Kaya. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I read Rigid Rules, and I'm majoring in biology with a pre-med track.
Awesome. Do you have any knowledge and no pressure in what you might want to study?
Well, I mean, if I'm going, all I know is I want to go in the medical field, so, you know, I'm not really sure exactly what, but.
I just wanted to make sure I knew everything. Thank you. That's great. Okay, I see Marissa down here as well.
Hi, I'm Marissa. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I read Remembering Reading, Remembering Writing, and I'm also majoring in elementary education. And a fun fact about me is I love kids, and so I nanny at home and babysit a lot.
Oh, that's great. That's really wonderful. I bet those parents really appreciate you. I also see on here Ashley.
Hi, I'm Ashley. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I read the Navi Strait, and then I'm from Hawaii.
Ashley, where in Hawaii are you from?
Oahu, Mililani.
Oh, wonderful. Maybe you can see from my sunset, I've always had Hawaiian students in my classes. And so when I could finally take a vacation, that was my big motivation, was to go. And so I went to Maui last spring, just as things were closing down. So I didn't get to see much, but the beaches and the turtles and the whales and the sunsets were pretty spectacular. So I definitely want to go back. And I've heard wonderful things about Oahu as well. Yay. Okay. Thumbs up. And I thought I was missing somebody. Just let me look real quick, because you all have moved around. Is there anyone who did not get to introduce themselves? Oh, this is in the chat. Oh, yes. I also love the dog. That is so cool. Yes. Oh. Oh, no. Okay, Naomi, that was not my intention. Oh, that says private. Oops. Okay, so it sounds like I goofed it that way. In actuality, because it seemed like there were a number of, I should just tell the whole group this, because it seemed like there were a number of people who hadn't contributed to the discussion and might not have decided what reading to do, I left a Now We Straight open to everyone, just in case you were wanting to read that one, everyone in this course. So I hope that didn't backfire and I didn't have people double up in too many different ways, but I will go through here. Once we're done kind of navigating Canvas and we break into the small groups, I will add you guys to the hypothesis. As you probably saw in my discussion comment, it didn't turn out like I had hoped. It turns out there has to be a special kind of PDF file, and they really didn't let me know this. It has to be ocular something that will allow you to make annotations in the text. Unfortunately for me, and perhaps unfortunately for Hypothesis, most journal articles are just the kind of PDF that I tried using. So I don't really have a solution for that other than to say if just connecting about the questions was helpful to the activity today, I want to know that, because if it kind of gave you a jump start on the activity today, in the future, later on today, tell me about that. Okay, so I'm going to try to share my screen and hope that I have the Zoom class open behind me. This is the one I want to share. I think I have. Okay, so I will just go to the main page and then I will put on student view so you can see the same thing I'm seeing. I don't think it's really that different. Okay, so hopefully you saw my announcement that said that it made another announcement of the Zoom part. We've discussed that we need to adjust or tweak a couple of the people in the first reading activity on Hypothesis. So here's some information about our theme, writing about writing, and about the main outcomes that we're gonna work on in writing. I do like that on the main page, it has a couple different tools for you. One, over here on the right-hand side, it tells you the weight of all of the different group areas. And I don't really like that it does this, but Canvas essentially pulls in everything as an assignment. And then when you separate it into groups, it still leaves a category called assignment. So you're gonna find that most of my things that you would call an assignment are in the responses and activities section, and also in the deep in the writing section. So you're gonna find most of my assignments are in those two areas in the grade category or grade column. Also have this handy dandy little calendar, and you can click on it, hover on it, and see what is due, what's coming up. Apologies that the reading was a little confusing. There, you do have this lovely to-do list, and so you probably will see me making some adjustments to that as I make the activity available today. On the main page is my contact information and also the writer's handbook. You may want to right-click on that and open it in a new tab, because we are going to be using that in our writing activity today. So while we're on this page, you might want to right-click and open the writer's handbook. It looks like it's an intimidating length in terms of number of pages, but it's really got a lot of white space, and it's an on-course, open source material that allows us to share it with you for free. And I haven't found anything so far that's really missing from that writing handbook. So I think it's a pretty helpful tool. If you have not already done so, if you could do me a favor and go to your account in the upper left-hand corner and click on your notifications, and make sure that the majority of your notifications are set for immediately, especially announcements and the Q&A discussion forum, which you actually have to subscribe to. I'll show you that in just a moment. I would love to show you the long list of notifications you can select, but my test student doesn't get notifications, I'm sorry to say. which is very difficult for setting that up for you. But I would really like it if you set up your announcements for immediate versus daily or weekly. And almost everything, the default is set to weekly. So you're probably going to need to go in there and adjust some of those notifications. Otherwise, whatever it is might pass before you get a reminder that it's coming. Okay. And on that note, I do have this under your discussions, this handy dandy questions and answers discussion forum. I see I even have a couple new posts in here, which I didn't get to, sorry. But you should be subscribed to this. If you're not subscribed to this, would you do me a favor and click this box? And the reason for that is then whenever anyone has a question, everyone can see the answer. It's not that I don't want to correspond with you individually. It's that usually when someone has a question in their mind, there's about 5 other people who have that same question in their head. So if I can answer a question in one central location, then it's delightful. Because I have subscribed to this discussion forum, and I've also subscribed, I also receive updates every time you participate in the Google shared folder. I get a lot of emails, not to mention the thousands from the university itself. So I get a lot of emails. So if you ever email me a question and I don't respond within 24 hours, just reply to that email. I am not ignoring you. I've just missed it in the long list. Also, sometimes if you are at the end of a chain, I won't notice, it won't appear at the top of my Gmail, and so I won't notice that. Some other helpful tools in this list of the menu are that you might have noticed that the home page is the syllabus page. But the modules is also kind of like step by step. You will see in the modules, they should follow almost exactly the course calendar that I've given you on the main page. And you should see upcoming things like the discussion on the article. Notice it's got a little bubble, speech bubble, like a discussion looks like. The responses have these light bulbs, like, yes, I'm thinking critically. And the deepen have a little brain. That's usually you're doing some kind of writing activity in the deepening assignments. Someone pointed out to me that the weekly folder, and I will check the dates on these. I can set different dates for the different sections, which since you're on the same day, I shouldn't need to do. But one of the reasons why those dates may seem a little off to you is that, for instance, especially this week, I wanted you to have done the reading before we're here together in class, if at all possible. So most of those weekly readings are set for Sunday. If you look at the course calendar, it will tell you whether I'm really expecting you to have the reading done on Tuesday, or I'm expecting you to have the reading done on Thursday. Some students pointed out to me that they thought the reading folder appearing in the to-do list was a little confusing because you don't have to submit anything. However, I've run into the situation in the past where people have stopped paying attention to the reading folders every week. And so that makes me concerned. If I don't put the reading in your to-do list, you'll forget about it. If you have any tips on that, great. Okay. All right. Any other questions about the setup on Canvas, where you can locate things? Question about anything else related to this?
What's the summary analysis response?
Oh, I'm going to talk about that when we get in just a moment as we get to our use of the descriptive outline and in the critical reading questions. But essentially, we're going to take what we do in that and use it to write a summary analysis response, either in the small groups that you're doing the first with or independently or a combination of the two. And I will explain it a little bit more later. But if I don't have any more questions about Canvas, then I will direct you to that activity and get you started working on the Google Drive, and then make sure the activities are assigned appropriately while you're doing that. Yeah, you want to ask another question?
No, sorry.
Oh, like a thumbs up. Got it.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, okay, so if you are under the assignments, you should see something, and I'm not sure it's going to appear on this student's, the test student. You should see something that it says in your upcoming assignment, deepen critical thinking. Does that sound like the right title? Let me just see if I can reset this student. Well, I just don't think it's going to show it to me on here. But I will go ahead and can everyone see that assignment? And then I'm going to get out of the student view, and I will, and then I will show you what it looks like. So this is the activity that I'm talking about. Deepen critical reading. And I'm now going to break you into smaller groups in using this, and we're going to be doing this work on the Google Drive. So you may want to open the Google Drive in another tab. As you can see, I think all my gazillions of tabs at the top, the one that looks like a triangle is the Google Drive, and you're going to go under your shared with me to get to this. If you don't know how to get to your Google Drive, when you are in your mail page, which I can't open because I'm sure it will show something private, in the far right hand corner, you should click on the number pad, and then as you look down in the list, you'll see the square, the triangle with the Google Drive. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to deepen through free writing, practicing, and drafting, and we're going to post the descriptive outline and questions for the reading sections from the article Remembering Reading, Remembering Writing, Rose's Rigid Rules, or Young's Now We Straight, with the descriptive outline using the template that you're also going to find within the Google Drive. Next, I want you to read or review the critical reading questions from chapters 1 and 2 of the Writer's Handbook. So if you had clicked earlier on the Writer's Handbook, on I think page 55 of the digital version and 48 of the regular version, you're going to see chapter 2, Becoming a Critical Reader, some questions directly related to reading and critical thinking that are going to be very helpful. What I do like about this Writer's Handbook is it is hyperlinked. So although it doesn't, again, the page numbers don't quite align with what it's saying, when I'm asking you to look in chapter 1 at posing productive questions, you can actually click on the posing productive questions and really examine those questions before you take a look at the questions that your group members came up with. So here are the 20 questions about the self, text, and context. And then the other section of questions is in chapter 2. And those may help you refine or change or agree upon some key questions for the different sections in your rating. So I'm going back to the assignment right now, just so I can make sure I've given you all the guidelines. Which questions seem applicable? Do any of the questions from the Writer's Handbook make you want to modify any of the questions you created for homework? Add those new questions to your notes or just to the template that we're using today in just a moment. And then I just want to check in about the descriptive outline. So hopefully you read this paragraph and hopefully you read this section right here. Essentially, it tells you to pay attention to the does statements. So the descriptive outline was developed by Kenneth Brufy. I'm thinking this is, I wonder why that is not separate. Involves analyzing the meaning and function of discourse, which is a word for written discussion and also discussion in general. You can't really do a descriptive outline unless you have the text in hand and take time. This is a kind of feedback that needs to be written. So the procedure is to write a says statement and a does statement for each section and then for the entire article. A says sentence summarizes the meaning or message. So a says sentence is really a summary sentence. For instance, in the article, Rose's Rigid Rules, if I were going to summarize the introduction section, I would say something like, Rose introduces writer's block and the students who are going to help him understand how rules relate to writer's block, right? So he's introducing all of that in the opening section. That's a summary statement. So you're going to make one of those for each of the sections. Please remember, now we straight that you should divide part 2 and part 3 into 2 or 3 sections, depending on what your group feels is best. So you're going to do this for each of those sections. So a says sentence is a summary sentence, and therefore a does sentence is an analysis of what the writing is actually doing. How is the writing impacting readers? How does it change or shape them? So here's an example of a does sentence. This paragraph introduces the topic of the essay by means of a humorous anecdote. Or this paragraph brings up an objection that some readers might feel and then tries to answer that objection. Notice nowhere in that statement do I mention the subject of the article itself, such as early reading and writing, such as rigid rules, such as code switching and language. The subject is not actually related to what the writing is doing. What is the writer doing with the writing, and how does it impact readers? That is an analysis or a does statement. So sometimes when students first start writing does statements, they kind of slip from a does statement into a summary statement, and they might look something like, this paragraph gives an example of how women's liberation has affected men more than it has women. And instead, it should say something like, just be a does statement and talk only about the function. This paragraph gives an example, or this paragraph gives an example designed to surprise the reader. Now, despite that, I am not going to read to you this entire time. So I will get online and divide you into those groups for the critical reading example. In the meantime, I would like you to get on our shared Google Drive and choose the article that you completed and then work on this template in groups. Then later, as our friend Kyle just asked, I'm pretty sure, we're going to talk about what to do with the summary analysis response. In the meantime, here's what this template looks like. So you're going to put all your names here. You should put the title of the art. Thank you, ladies, for jumping on. You should put the title of the article right here. And then you're going to follow up by saying what each section is, coming up with the question, a says summary sentence, and a does analysis statement about each section of the reading. Remember, Nawi Straight group, you should have two or three sections for part 1 and part 2 each. Any questions for me about this template work, about descriptive outlines, about what I'm asking you to do here?
Should this automatically show up in our Google Drive section on Canvas?
Yes.
I'm only able to see my work.
Oh, you're probably not in our shared folder. Let me talk about that. So if I'm on my Google Drive, guess what? I created this folder, so it appears on my drive. In your case, you're going to have to go to, I have too much stuff. Shared with me. And then this folder should appear under shared with me, and it's going to look like this. Does that help? Okay, good. Any other questions about the critical reading template or the descriptive outline?
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. I was just gonna say I see 2 of the articles, but I don't see the remembering reading, which is the one I chose.
I wonder if opening it somehow stopped sharing it. Hold on, let me just go back to this original version and I'll make sure everyone's on the share. I can't. Okay, so Madison. I'll just check, although I don't really want to be scrolling through everyone's information. Yeah, I see you on there, Madison. Okay, so in actuality, I didn't hide any of these templates from anyone. So I'll just go back on here and make sure I'm sharing all of them again. They should all be shared with all of you. The only place that I differentiated things was I tried to differentiate things on hypothesis, which turns out hypothesis did not work especially well. Is there anyone who can't get on the Google Drive? You looked in your shared with me folder, you looked in your email, it's just not shared with you.
You can try going directly to your Gmail if you already haven't done that, because I didn't even know about the shared document and I just went straight to Gmail and I was able to find it.
Okay, good. Okay, great. And also you should, and I think I said that in the original invitation that I sent you, you should, you know, bookmark that thing. I don't know why my video just turned off. I'm cool with that. Nobody needs to see me, but that was weird that it spontaneously decided to do that. Okay, it must have known that I'm immediately going to go in now and check on the different assignment invitations. Again, please, if you joined the reading late, please do not feel pressured to go in and add much to the hypothesis thing. As people pointed out, there's not much to add besides the questions. During this class, stay focused on the work for this class. And then later, you can go in and do that after you decide as a group if you want to do the summary analysis response together, which I'll talk about later in the class. My last class pointed out to me that it was helpful to break everyone into rooms, into breakout rooms. Anybody object to that? Okay, so I'm going to stop the share right now and get in and take care of these things. Okay. Some of these larger groups of 7 people, you're welcome to copy that template and break into 2 smaller groups. That's perfectly fine. It's really going to be your choice. I've never, to be honest with you, most of the time when we've done that, when I've done this, it's been in a face-to-face classroom. And so I broke people into groups of 3 or 4. So it's really your choice. If you all want to put on, get on there, just make sure the names are clear at the top of the assignment so I can make sure to give credit to people. And since we have a number of names that might be different on Canvas, just make sure the last names are on there as well. Because I have a feeling with my easy consonant confusion, at some point I'm going to get May, Madison, and Marlowe confused. Marlowe, did I put you in the right group? I think I didn't. Here, hold on. Ooh, I can move you very fast. That's nice. And Lexi, did I get the right space for you? I did. Okay, super. Thank you so much.
Oh,
Yeah.
I got disconnected.
Okay.
Yeah, my internet went down, but it's back.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure that I'm putting you in the right place. And it looks like Marissa also might have gotten bumped out. Okay, super.
Thanks.
Anytime.
Hi. Hello?
Can you all hear me? Can you see my screen, everyone? I didn't really want to break you out of your rooms. I just wanted to talk to the group about the summary analysis response.
We wouldn't have been able to hear you if you were talking. The only reason we came back is because we saw what you put in chat.
Oh, okay.
We can't see your screen in the breakout room.
You can't see the screen in the breakout rooms.
Yeah.
No.
Bummer. But
we can't see it unless you join our breakout room.
What?
I think unless you join our breakout room, then.
Hold on a second. Let me see if there's a way to do all of them. Can I join them all separately, individually?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is our new breakout room.
There she goes.
All right, cool. Since
We're
we're
the
not
only group that came back.
awesome.
What just
Nice.
happened?
The main chat is our new break room, I guess.
So she's sharing to the breakout rooms, but since this is the main room, I think once again we've been excluded on
Yeah.
accident. Sweet.
This one's recording too, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. Just this
Yeah.
one.
Hey, future people.
So what even happened to Rowan? Where, like,
Yeah, dude, Rowan disappeared. I feel kind of bad because now she can't come back. She's just gone.
True. I don't even know how to like get a hold of her is the problem. So we can't see your screen or hear.
Yeah.
Oh, she's kind of cute though. Like, she's trying. It's
No, it's okay. I mean, this is like new to a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even know you could pin people until like yesterday. Like you could pin. I was like, whoa.
I'm hoping, like, since it's like new to everyone and it's like she seems like she's definitely like really confused by it. I was hoping like we wouldn't have to do like this much work.
Everyone's back. We better mute.
What's up, everybody?
Okay, so I'm sorry about that. I didn't really want to break you out of your groups, and I'm going to let you have the rest of the time to work together, and you guys can just sign off as you choose. But I just wanted to check in with you about this summary analysis response, just so I made sure no one had any questions and everyone was clear on it. So when you're done with that critical thinking template, everyone should have received an invitation to that in their assignments and their to-do list. If you didn't, don't volunteer to be the person in your group who submits that. I really officially only need one person per group to submit the critical thinking template today. Likewise, if you want to do this summary analysis response together, that is also fine. It is also fine for you to do it within the same file. However, the file must be submitted to both assignments. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about the summary analysis response, take some questions, and also tell you why some people choose to submit this separately. So I think on this, on the right-hand side, it says something, if it copied my comment, it says something about, well, I'll just make my comment again. This lets me show you how to do peer editing anyway. So I can highlight this and I can make a comment off to the side, and my comment says, note, you will not need all of the questions on this sheet. This handout is very similar to the response handout, which in fact has summary analysis response sections to it. The only difference is this one's a little bit longer because the article is a little bit longer. I really only need your response to be about 1.5 pages. It's fine to go over, but I don't expect it. And I'm not offering any additional points. So if you haven't noticed, all of the says statements are really summary statements. You should be able to collect all those statements together, your 7 to 8 lines or 5 to 7 lines, and make a paragraph of summary. That's easy. I don't know that I need to explain anything more than labeling the essay title at the top of the response. Okay? Really, I should be calling these articles, not essays. Now, evidence, as I said when we were talking about the does statements, it's what is the writing doing? How is it impacting you as a reader? So incorporated in with that response will be 2 to 3 direct quotes from the article. This part right here. I prefer to have that woven in to the analysis. But if in effect, you could dump all of your what is the text doing lines together and probably address a number of these statements. Again, I'm not expecting all of the questions answered. They're just for the variety of articles that we're reading. So your analysis will be at least 2 paragraphs, including evidence. And those are the parts, because you've just done the says and the does statements, that most people seem comfortable working on together. The place where they get into a place where they sometimes want to respond separately is that oftentimes when I ask for your response and your personal background on the subject, such as early reading and writing, rigid rules and flexible guidelines, and language and how else would I say, and code switching or not code switching. Often if I ask for your response, you have a personal response. There's a number of ways groups have handled this in the past. One, they all copy their critical analysis paper, they all share it with each other. Their critical thinking, deepen activity, they all share it with each other. And then they do the summary analysis response separately. They do one version of the summary analysis and then all get together and separately add their name and a colon and a line or 2 of their response at the end on a shared document. That's another possibility. They all do share the summary analysis with each other and then work separately on individual documents that includes the response. So, I mean, I'm sure you guys are really intelligent. I'm sure you can think of another possibility that I haven't thought of, but there are some people when they get to this point, they're like, yeah, it was nice meeting you, great to work with you, but I really like to do work on my own and I just want to be on my own. And that is also fine if that's okay with everyone else. So is there anyone who has a question on the summary analysis response?
So for this summary analysis response, like do we work on that in the same groups that we were in, and you only need like one of that from like our whole group like you do for the...
Exactly. And the rest of the responses that you'll do this term will all be individually. But for instance, you can take all of those says statements that you just wrote, the says summary statements, and put them all together and officially have this part of your assignment pretty much done. And the same thing down here with this analysis part. It's asking, what does the text do? So if you want to do this, if you want to take all those does statements in your critical thinking and dump them in there, and then weave in some quotes from the article to support it, you will probably have your 2 pages of analysis, with the exception that you might need to draw attention to a couple of different things or make some transitions and segues. Great question, Katie. Anyone else have a question about the summary analysis response?
Yeah. So just to be like totally clear, if we work together with our group, we only need 1.5 pages, like
Yes.
minimum,
Yeah.
1.5 pages of all of this.
I would say, let me clarify. The critical thinking is separate from the summary analysis response, but you can take parts of the critical thinking and put it in the summary analysis response. That was the intent, that you would learn how to summarize and you could put all the summary together. You would learn how to analyze and you could put all the analysis together. But I do want them organized in separate paragraphs in the summary analysis response versus just being numbered. Is that clear? And it is also possible that you could do the critical reading followed in the same document file with the summary analysis response, as long as you're aware the summary analysis itself should probably be a page and a half double spaced. That really is not very much writing, right? The summary analysis response is the 1 paragraph of summary, 2 paragraphs of analysis, including the evidence or citations, and then about a paragraph of response. And I say about because depending on the person, you may have more or less to say. Does that make it clear? And I'm sorry, I couldn't see whose face. Let me see if I can switch to this one, whose face that was.
Nah, if I turn on my camera, I'll just get disconnected again.
Oh, I'm sorry. That happens sometimes. Yeah, there's a certain amount of weight. That's you, Kirk, right?
No, this is Tolo.
Yeah.
Oh, the dog is, no, that was
Kirk's the dog.
Kirk's the dog. Okay.
Captain Kirk.
Tolo, you were the one asking the question.
Yeah, so like a page and a half.
Yes, the
Double
summary
spaced.
analysis response should be in a page and a half, and the critical thinking is probably going to be about that same amount, just because of the questions that I asked you to put in that other one. But they're going to be in slightly different formats. One is intended to help you get to the other, and also we're practicing summary analysis response together because we're going to be doing that individually on different reading responses throughout the term. And
yeah.
Hence the reason why I left all of those questions on there, because not only are the articles different, but I want you to just start to get familiar with some of those.
So the deepening critical thinking, that's the other part, and it's separate from what's being shared through your screen now, or it's just the analysis and evidence part.
Yes, the deepen critical thinking was this part that you were doing earlier.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, right here. And you're going to submit that to an assignment. I really don't care if you put the summary analysis response in the same assignment file, as long as you remember to include everyone's names at the top and that you remember to submit it to both assignments. So I've had students who are like, yeah, we really got this critical thinking down and we just want to keep going. We want to just put a little heading down here at the bottom and say summary analysis response and put it all in one document. And there is no problem with that, but don't forget to submit it to both assignments, because otherwise you'll be sad that you only get 1 grade and 1 0, and that's never good.
But only one person has to submit it to both assignments? Or does
group.
everyone have to?
Only one person per group, only if you don't leave anyone's name off. If you leave someone's name off, both they and I will be frustrated. I'm just kidding, but it probably will be frustrating. So do try to make sure that you've got everyone's first and last names. And remember, right now it's a little tricky between nicknames and the names as they're appearing in the Canvas gradebook. So if you can make sure to use first and last names for me, that would be really helpful. It will also make sure that I don't get Marissa and Marlo mixed up, for instance, because, you know, I've got consonant challenges. So yes, you're going to do the critical reading and you're going to do the summary analysis response. However, I don't care whether you continue the summary analysis response in the file that you're working on today, as long as you remember to submit it to both assignments. Anyone else have any questions?
I have a question. So for the summary analysis, your response section, if we choose to do it in a group, Does that mean all of our group members need to contribute, or can we just have one person and like use their perspective on it?
Well, that's a really good question. So I don't think you would want to use their perspective if it weren't a shared perspective. But I have had groups before, for instance, who had very similar experiences in early reading and writing, or had very similar experiences being judged based on their speech, or had very similar experiences with writing rules. So it is fine if you have a common experience to say, all of us have had the experience of blank. Otherwise, you can just put your name and a little colon and describe your own personal experience in the same file. That's perfectly fine with me. Again, it's perfectly fine for you to divide and conquer at that point and work on separate files as well.
Because our group is doing rigid rules, so it would make sense if all of us have the experience writer's block, you know? So thank you for clarifying.
Exactly. Yeah, I think there are many common perspectives, but I've just as much as I think there are common perspectives, I've been surprised that some group members have really wanted to work separately because they felt they had different experiences. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, we're all humans, right? So, okay, I am going to try to reopen the breakout rooms. I know we're close to being done. As long as you've connected with each other and you know who is doing what, and that the work is shared and you've figured out what you're doing for the summary analysis response, that is fine. You want to be on the lookout for an introductory writing activity that I typically do in class on the first day of class, but it will really help you jumpstart the literacy narrative assignment that I've put here. That's also on Canvas now in the reading folders, as well as in week 3 when it's done. Due.
I have a quick question.
I think I forgot to say this earlier, and then I'll get to your question. I think I forgot to mention that in Canvas, in some of the reading folders, there may be upcoming assignments that don't have dates changed on them. I've left those in there intentionally for people who need to know what's coming and need to know what the next project or assignment is, but you're going to stick with the deadlines that are in the course assignments and in the course calendar. And then, yes, I can't see everybody right now, but I'm happy to take your question.
Okay, when is the summary analysis response due again?
I think I have it set for tonight. Am I lying about that? Let me check.
No, it's at 11:59 tonight.
Yeah, it's at the end of the day today.
Thank you.
Is that a good deadline? I have had groups who say they want another day or something, and I'm fine to extend it. But sometimes what happens is when you're working in groups, you just want to get it all done and then move on. So, especially because our class time took so much time today. Any preferences? Do you want me to leave it at that date? Do you want me to give you till end of day Friday, end of day Saturday? I'm not going to run into Sunday because I don't want to run into that writing assignment. Josie, I see that you're trying to speak, but your mic is muted. Oh, wait, I have a chat.
I'm thinking sometime later.
Okay.
Like Saturday.
I'm going to change that to end of day Saturday, which is going to change it to end of day Saturday for both classes, I'm pretty sure. Please remember you only need to submit one version of each of these assignments. And Marlo, did you see the deepen critical thinking appear?
I don't see it, but I found it in the week 1 folder thing because people said to check that. But then when we submit it, how exactly do we submit it? Or are you just gonna like check our docs?
I'm gonna check the one person who submitted it, and if see, I have not graded much in Canvas yet, so if quick grading will give you all the grade at the same time and it acknowledges the groups I tried to set up, awesome, that makes my life easier. I have a feeling it's not going to do that, and what I'm going to need to do is go in and manually enter them into the grade book. But I wouldn't worry about the work on my end. I would just worry about Annabelle, you're not seeing where to submit the critical thinking or the summary analysis response. Okay, let me just jump down here to okay, so you already submitted the, you should have something in your module 1 that says week 1, introducing reading critically, summary and paraphrase, that has a deepened critical thinking. Here's where you should submit the article. If for some reason I shared with you the wrong group, just go ahead and have the person submit it as they need to, and I'll sort it out. Are you saying goodbye? Awesome. Okay. Now you guys are just having fun. That's excellent. So
I think what's happening is when we go into the deepen critical reading part, there's not necessarily a place to upload it, but the summary analysis, there is like a little part on there where it says you can upload something. I think that's where we're confused as to where to upload it.
Okay, let me see if I can figure that out on my end. If not, just submit it to the only spot you can submit something to. I'm gonna go up. Have I already mentioned that I don't like that I have to go back to the home page in order to turn on the student view? I don't like that. Okay, but I will just check on it. I will also put you back in groups just in case you need to check on each other. So when I click on it, let's just see. Submit, here's this button that says submit a assignment. Do you guys all have this? In Moodle, this is at the bottom. So I'm actually surprised to see it at the top. Is there anyone who's missing this button? Okay, I'm assuming that you left because class was over. No, you're still there. Okay, so here's what I will do. I will check and make sure there are no questions in the chat. And I will also put you back in the groups just in case you need to connect with each other. And again, I apologize for running over. So where does the breakout rooms go? Right, here we go. Okay, I'll just click this. Okay, you are in charge of these groups. And when I end the meeting in just a moment, I'm gonna pass off the leadership to somebody who's still got a light on. You don't have to do anything. I suppose if you didn't end the meeting, it would keep recording forever and ever and ever, I suppose. Here, I'm gonna check on this little chat. Okay, well, I don't see anybody saying they don't know where to submit to now. So I'm hoping, cross my fingers, that I answered that question.
Yeah, and I think if they're doing a group, somebody's got to have the button, right?
I hope, or I really did something wrong. But I'm not convinced, since this was, again, my first group assignment in Canvas. I'm not convinced I did it right.
Oh, it's all good. We're all learning.
Thank you, Kirk. I appreciate it. Have a great day.
You too.